It's time to review some paranormal news because this was the initial intention of the podcast.
Yeah,
and somehow we strayed away.
We strayed away from.
But if that mockingbird won't sing, Mama's gonna buy you a diamond ring.
I wasn't ready for that.
I don't even know what that is. It's just scary. I have all these sounds today.
It's so unsettling. You're trying to figure out which one you want. That one's pretty good.
Let's open the door to some paranormal stories.
That one works.
It's a big door. It's the Black-Eyed Kids.
Black-eyed kids at the traffic light.
Now, what exactly are BEKs?
BEKs are black-eyed people.
That's
They're
it.
young people, often children, with eyes that are solid black with no differentiation between sclera, pupil, or iris. And
Basically, their entire eye is black. That's in
reported to
layman's
have
term.
blue or bluish tinted skin. Oh, that's also a new thing. I didn't hear about that. They have blue to blue tinted skin.
Now, David Weatherly's book, I think it's called Black-Eyed Children, has the most probably defined articles and stories of black-eyed kids. But I don't know, honestly, I'm extremely skeptical about the existence of these BAKs.
Just because you haven't seen them doesn't mean they're not there.
Well,
What about the wind?
well, have you even heard of anyone around you talking about BAKs?
No. But then again, none of my friends are crazy. So
we're on paranormal.about.com, which is just basically a bad site to be on to begin with because people can post whatever they want.
yeah.
And none of these guys are journalists, by the way, or news writers or anything.
But this is recent, February 2014.
Right. It's only been 5 days and there's already a list of experiences. That goes to show how real or how potentially fake these articles are.
Yeah, so let's get into it. I've never heard of black-eyed kids until I had my first experience the other night and started doing my own research. It was all so surreal that I'm not even sure that I even understand the facts, other than I was driving my car and was very much awake.
It was the night of January 20th, 2014 at approximately 10:20 p.m. I had just left work and was taking a less traveled road home. Old 441 in Tavares, Florida. Everything was going as normal on my typical drive home until I came to a red light. No cars on the road at all, just me sitting there.
Now the rest of my account took less than a minute, but it seemed as though time stood still and sounds were very long and drawn out. When I came to my stop, out of the darkness on the passenger side of the car, all of a sudden, a teenager appeared. He was about 15 feet from the car. He was wearing blue jeans and a hoodie that was up over his head. From what I could see, it appeared that he had little to no facial features, especially the eyes. The eyes were blacker than the darkness.
I was very freaked out and scared beyond explanation. I turned my gaze off him and looked back towards the light when I saw what looked like an identical twin crossing the road very, very slowly in front of my car, as to hold me up if the light did change.
The next thing I knew, the boy, Demon, was at the side of my car, approaching the car as though he was going to get in. I was filled with an overwhelming fear and I thought I was going to die. At the time, I remember thinking, this is the angel of death. I also thought about running the light. I had a feeling as though they were somehow talking to each other without talking out loud.
As far as I know, he never touched the car. A car started to approach from behind me, and the light changed as I was leaving and looked back. Both boys were gone. When I got home, I was so freaked out that I thought they were gonna show up at my door. Actually, I was and am still pretty freaked out, being that this happened just a few days ago. I wanted to share this with everybody that understands, believes, or has had similar experience. Now, this is from John S. We don't know who John S. is. Could be just some troll online.
Just some guy.
Making up stories. But I feel like this story is so cliche, you know?
Yeah.
I came home from work at night. I took the road that was less traveled. Ooh. And then something showed up in my passenger seat.
Oh!
It didn't have crows, though.
I'm sure there are like those contact lenses that you could wear that make your eyes completely black.
Which makes it very, very unbelievable. The usual paranormal encounter with black-eyed kids is usually I was sitting on the couch watching TV and I heard the doorbell ring. I opened the door and there was a kid with black eyes. Oh, then I closed the door. That's it.
Full account.
Full account. So the credibility and validity of this story, who knows? Could be real. Just sounds too convenient to me to be real. It sounds exactly like a film.
Yeah.
So next up, if you're familiar with astral projection. Now, what was that film that illustrated astral projection?
It was Insidious.
And that film, I think, portrayed it pretty well. We have a account here from Kate P. titled, "I am an astral projector. For as long as I can remember, during that half-awake state before sleep, I have seen flashes of people totally unrelated to my life. In recent years, I've begun to wonder if it's not distant viewing because instead of flashes of face, I am seeing whole scenes from people's lives."
Last month, December 2013, I actually interacted with the scene while resting in my bed in northeastern New Mexico. As though looking from high above, I saw a car driving at high rates of speed on a straight piece before a climb up a steep mountain road. God damn it. From my vantage point, I could see they were heading directly for a large path of black ice on the curb where the snow had melted onto the road and the water had frozen.
I found myself sitting in the back seat of the car, looking at the young couple in the front seat, shouting as loud as I could.
"Slow down, there's ice!"
Both the man and the woman were startled. The woman turned around and fearfully, looking to the back seat, couldn't hear her. But I saw her mouth move, and I think she said, "There's no one there."
There's no one there.
As I watched, the man who was driving was slowing the car down drastically.
Then I was back in my bed, warm and sleepy. I don't know if the experience is simply a dream or is based on reality. I would like to think that maybe I actually helped someone. There have been 2 other similar experiences in the past 2 years. In both cases, I saw a woman being attacked, and using all of my strength, I was able to throw small objects at the attacker. I must be invisible because in both cases, the attacker ran away in fear.
Now, I feel like this is the other end of that black-eyed kids thing.
Convenient.
Because she showed up in someone's car.
Oh.
But except they couldn't see her because she was astrally projecting, you know?
Yeah.
Who's to say that these black-eyed kids who show up out of nowhere aren't astral projectors? Maybe when you astrally project, your eyes turn blind, you know?
You're just a black-eyed kid?
Except this woman might not be a kid. This lady might not be a kid, so I don't know. I'm not sure. Still, it sounds like a film.